Once again, folks, and welcome to another terrible idea. So, kind of went on about this one a few times now. Figured, what the hell? Wasn't quite in the mood for a lot of other stuff this morning, so let's go ahead and give this one a shot. At least until the kiddos get up, because the schedule got a little bit reshuffled today. All right. So, basic premise. Yeah, where it says insane, game starts punishing and works up from there. Yeah. Yeah, that's a bit of an understatement. So the whole deal with insane is like, okay, so I should probably explain. Unlike, like, let's say, XCOM EU or something like that, where if you clicked the hardest difficulty, it was just straight up RNG whether you would win or not. Um, this one is doable, but it is insanely difficult. So okay, as far as the different places you can start, generally speaking, safest bet is going to be around here. Just kind of like Middle East, Africa, all that kind of thing, just because you get a whole lot of land. If you go over here, you get the most land mass, but you're basically only covering a few countries. You get a few more funding regions by just kind of doing over here. North America and South, like this general region is where I tend to start a good bit of the time. Mostly because, while this gives you the most overall coverage, you're basically seeing most of your funding coming from these two. So that's kind of where all of that boils down. So we're just gonna try to hedge our bets and kind of go over here. Let's see, what do we wanna? We'll just hope for a better year. There we go. All right. So right off the bat, you want to build a second base. We're just gonna go ahead and pop that sucker over here. Yeah, let's just go over here. It's kind of in Florida. I mean, it's kind of around the Tallahassee area, so whatever. It's the retire base. So yeah, first order of business, you want to do that. Mostly because these things take a month to build, so you wanna give yourself the opportunity to start expanding the next month. Second thing that's completely obligatory is getting a couple more radar bases up. So we're gonna get a couple of those out. We're gonna get another lab going. We're eventually gonna want 3 or 4 labs, depending on how far we expand that. Living quarters, we're gonna want only 1 extra of. We want to save at least 200k. So whatever we do, we want to save at least 200k. So we'll go ahead and buy 5 scientists, because you want to cap. You basically just want to run the entire thing capped out on scientists. The actual logic behind this will become clear in a little bit here. What do we want to do this time? Storeroom. Yeah, we already have a storeroom, so we don't really need another one. Missile batteries we don't need yet. And then we'll go ahead and build a couple hangars with whatever we've got left lying around. So yeah, that should be enough for now. Do we want another? It's kind of risky to build another 2 hangars at this point, but we'll eventually... You know what? It'll be fine. It'll be fine. We're just going to do 6 hangars per base. So, okay. Overall logic here is we want to set up three bases around the world. Maybe fill out the rest as we can. And just have foxtrots everywhere. Now, I might be saying, it's kind of an expensive plane for your first plane. I mean, obviously they're good, but maybe go for some of the better ones down the line. How do you plan to upgrade it eventually? No, we only ever use foxtrots all game. So okay, we're gonna do these manually, primarily because of the fact that I mean, you can do them pretty well manually, but for another thing, you can make sure they don't take any damage. So best way to do this is you just have them kind of approach at an angle, and then you do these little flippy flips, and they're constantly going to try to meet your fire cone, which means that you can attack them from the side. So that's useful in terms of your sidewinders. We're not going to be using sidewinders very often. Also, I should probably turn on this thing so I can see chat. I mean, it's really early. I doubt there'll be much in the way of chat here. So, okay, this is going to be our standard setup here. Medkits, for the most part, we're basically going to leave some of them around, but we really don't want many of them. We don't even need to bother with reloads. The actual loadout's going to change based on our characters here, but this guy, for example, if someone can carry a medkit, they will. But usually a bunch of stun grenades, a shotgun, and a shield is what we want to go for. So we're going to go ahead and set that as default. One sniper's fine. We don't want any kill grenades at all. So, unlike XCOM, When it comes to Xenonauts, the way that this one works is that when you blow stuff up, it's just completely gone altogether. There's no check whether it's gone or anything like that. You can't accidentally knock units out. It's just dead now. So, okay, so we're going to change your role, switch you over to Assault. The stats won't necessarily matter because a shotgun is right in their face. Yeah, we're going to want one gunner. Still going to give him some grenades. So that's perfectly fine. We'll switch you to Assault as well. And again, once we get into the fights, the actual logic behind this will become a bit more clear. But for the most part, what we're going for is an early game capture. First mission has to have a capture. If it's civilians, that's going to suck. So civilians are your lizard guys. If it's Cesians, it's quite a bit easier. And by the way, it's not that rifles are terrible or whatever else. This is just far more consistent. Like, for anyone who hasn't played Xenonauts before, here's the general idea behind these different weapons here. So, your rocket launchers are typically for, obviously, rockets, but whatever rockets you happen to have at the time. Since we're playing this on Community Edition, there's incendiary rockets. They're like a suckier version of your normal rockets, but they leave fire behind. It's mostly a gimmick, but, you know, it's just there for fun. They just never fully implemented them into the game. Machine guns, so HMGs, are basically there to wreck absolutely anything, but they can't move anywhere while using them. Sniper rifles are ridiculously accurate, but unfortunately they'll only, on Insane, they maybe have like a 50% chance of killing something. They're mostly there to finish stuff off. So the reason that I have one HMG and one sniper is HMG fires. Typically they'll finish stuff off within their first volley, because they fire 10 times. Anything they don't, the sniper's there to finish. Rifles are supposed to be like a jack of all trades. They've got a burst fire for suppressing stuff. They've got some long and short range fire modes. They can be quick. They can kind of duck around corners, take shots. They're your kind of general purpose weapon. Just like a normal XCOM, they're the one you typically upgrade first on a normal run. On higher difficulties, though, we get the amazing joy that is the shotgun. So it's basically like the assault rifle if it only had its burst fire mode. Anyway, all of those shots get fired at once, though. And on top of that, it gets a reaction bonus. So this game kind of scales its reaction chances, which basically means that if there is if there's two units, like let's say one's running in with his shield, one is running in with like a shotgun or whatever else. Or actually, no, one's sitting there with his rifle, one guy's running in with a shield. If he has a shield, that's going to take priority for their reaction speed. And it's basically going to be like, okay, the guy is just checking their reflexes versus however many turn units plus reflexes or something like that the actual sitting unit has. And then they'll go and take a reaction shot, at which point you get to move again. Now, the point of the shotgun is that it gives you a reaction bonus, which means that you can duck around a corner, ignore the reaction fire, and just take a shot. It's not a huge bonus, but here, let's see if it actually says it on here. I think Community Edition does. Yeah, reaction modifier 1.5. So you get a 50% bonus to your reflexes. Now, this is why I'm mostly going to be running those, because in Insane mode, if something has seen you and fired, odds are you've already lost a unit. Even with smoke grenades and whatever else, they're typically going to have really high odds to hit. Like, I'll probably go and replace one of these stun grenades with a smoke on everybody, but realistically, they won't always make the difference. Main reason for the smoke grenades is actually to give you a nicer landing on your first time through. I may notice nobody has a reload for their shotgun. They're not expected to live that long. Alright, so let's go ahead and do this thing. Industrial, that sucks. Alright. So we'll go ahead and move on to this here. Okay, so yeah, every part of this particular strategy is just built around trying to consistently cheese absolutely everything on the map, so we'll see how that works out. Sometimes you just die immediately. Sometimes you just never even get an encounter for a couple months and then lose that way. You can, in fact, lose to pacifist aliens in this one. So that's always fun. Now, unlike X Division, base game Xenonauts is very, very frantic. So there's no sitting and waiting anybody out. And actually, that's one of those things that really that kind of really spoke to me about Xenonauts in general. Like the game is just like go 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 all the time, pretty early on there. Um, okay, so we can see some, but not much. I don't necessarily want to. Okay, so here's how you typically approach a map. You find out where the edges are. So now there's an edge over there. We know there's an edge over here. We know there's an edge over here. So this area is probably safe. I'm going to have one guy run around, scout it out. Scouting is the only way you survive. So yeah, that's just some trees. It's unlikely somebody will be over there. I'll have somebody check it out all the same. Typically, the overall hostility of a map is what's going to determine what kind of spawns they've put into the game. So every map in this game is actually not randomly generated. There's a few extra community maps and things like that, but for the most part, it's all going to be... Well, not for the most part. It is entirely maps that people have actually made, which means that they've manually put in spawns. So I'm going to go ahead and put some smoke there. This guy's going to go ahead and do nothing. Actually, I'm going to have him go sit in front of this guy, just in case. Which, by the way, one of the things the Community Edition fixes, in the base game, for whatever reason, if somebody fires, like, for example, if they fire at this guy, if they were aiming at this guy, it'll just ignore that they were even there. So, Community Edition just generally fixes everything to make the game more believable and everything else, because it's not, it has an active physics system, just apparently something was wrong with it when they started implementing stuff. See, our gunner and sniper are going to set up here. We're going to have this guy go over this way. And yeah, all of this is going to be with the express purpose of letting us survive our first turn. Alright, and there we go. We should be okay. Now, another thing is we can't actually see the damage numbers on Insane. There's a mod that lets you do that, and I usually end up testing runs with it. Because you actually always roll a range when it comes to your damage. But yeah, we're not playing with that because we want to do this as intended. So yeah. Shield strategy lets you go ahead and scout out with shields and whatever else. I should note at this point, these shields, you might be thinking, you know, that thing's made to take rounds. You know, surely it can keep them pretty safe. No, this thing, if they're lucky, it'll take one shot, and then they'll get injured anyway. If they're not, they'll just die straight through the shield. They're basically just running out as scouts. Your initial A-team here, you really don't want to be risking them too much, but, you know, it is what it is. But yeah, you start off with a mildly experienced team, and then you get replaced with the rookies as time goes on. So it's not looking like we're probably running into the UFO over here. And judging by the shots they fired, well, we can't judge anything, frankly. Alright, so I want to make sure that they're within range to suppress. Probably give them a run over to here. So every tile also has kind of a directional defense of sorts. So like right here, if you look at this, they're going to be protected from this angle, and this angle. If it's green, it's typically pretty okay cover. If it's, you know, if it's yellow, it's hard cover. If it's something like, for example, if there's red anywhere, that's more or less, I forget. It was like, yeah, gray is nothing. Red is supposed to be really good cover. I'm trying to find it. Yeah, there we go. So red just means you plain can't see. Like, for example, here you can see one direction this way, but you can't see anything over these two directions. Anywho, moving on. So yeah, as far as the HMG goes, this thing is functionally a fully automatic sniper rifle. And you don't really take many penalties for using it on the go, but you, like, for example, this guy's got 58 points, it costs him 47 to fire it. Also, this angle means that if something's over here, they can still hit him just fine. Hopefully we'll be okay here. Alright. Yeah, we need to get our two scouts back into business here. Just kind of scout out what's going on behind this bus. If you see one tile hiding behind something, well, that's a pretty good sign. They're probably going to be there. Another thing, there's a morale system in this game. Basically, anything that would potentially stress somebody out will well, stress them out. In this particular case, if like a stray shot flies by their head, it'll impact their morale. If they see a teammate get injured or killed, it'll affect their morale. If they see civilians going down, it'll affect their morale. Even if they hear them in the background, it'll affect them based on how far away they were. So their mental state is a pretty huge consideration in this game, especially in the vanilla version here, where stuff can get really wild. Like, I've legitimately had a case where a mission went perfectly. You know, we had no casualties, we were absolutely dominating, and then all of a sudden one guy took an injury. The head of the team, which, by the way, the better rank they are, the better bonuses they give to the units around them. Actually, the X Division mod added a cool thing where rookies would end up causing a drop in morale because nobody trusted them. Anyway, but yeah, I had a case where a mission went absolutely perfectly, and then we get to the very, 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 very end, and for whatever reason, the head of the team just panics, turns around with his LMG, and just like mows down 6 dudes. It was well, it was definitely the end of that attempt. But yeah. Procow's rating with -7 viewers. Hi there, Mr. Procow. How's it going? Welcome to the game of chess and suffering, more or less. By the way, your opinion. This music here. You think it would be out of place in an Armored Core game? Also, by the way, as far as snipers go, they've got next to no reactions, but when they do, they're pretty handy. I'm just gonna leave them here because I expect something to come out of this direction. More than likely, what's going on here, they're probably all already hunkering inside the scout. So normally, what you want to do, you clear out the area around the scout, you surround the door, you block the door entirely. You put a stack of 6, so you get 3 guys with actually, this should be a 2-tile door, I believe. So you get 2 guys in front. You get a stack of 4. 2 guys in front, 2 guys in back. 2 guys in front with the shields. One of them opens the door. Well, actually, sometimes you can get safe tiles. It looks like this one might actually have safe tiles. So if you have safe tiles, you can have a shotgun guy open the door, which means that since they're the ones that are getting reaction checked, you won't usually get attacks from there. So what you do, if that's the case, you have these 2 in front kneel down, or at least you have one of them kneel down. You open the door, you chuck your stun grenades in. If you've got TUs left on your shield guys here, you can just use them to throw stun grenades as well. But they do a very tiny amount of stun damage. Or the ones that we have do a tiny amount of stun damage. Later on you get like stun gas and stuff like that, but for the time being, all we have is just standard old flashbangs. So they do a little bit of stun damage, but they suppress. So they basically keep them locked down until you're done doing your business. Alright, yeah, this map is pretty annoying, by the way. So what we're going to do is we are going to wreck this, this little thing here so we can get through it. This is why some guys have pistols. They're not actually for fighting anything. They just help to get past certain annoying areas. Alright. Now this guy crouch over here. Do you have any smoke to throw out? Yeah, but no points. That is a shame. Okay. Yeah, normally we only use smoke in the first round, but this one's gone on a while. This is the only reason you'd want to keep destructive grenades around. Because this particular map is annoying with these little overpass things, because they can't just chuck the shield across. You'd have to switch them entirely over to shotguns, and I need at least 2 shields on the other side of this thing. So better off just sitting and waiting. So just popping in to say, have a good stream, picked up Fell Seal, and the DLC after chatting with you, gonna try it out. Alright, well, I hope you enjoy it. I have no idea how on earth I'm supposed to pronounce your name. We'll just say 3-row. But yeah, it's an amazing game. I hope you enjoy, and looking forward to hearing what you think. Alright, let's see. This guy's got a concrete barrier. So yeah, their best bet is going to be firing at the... No, it won't. You know what? Screw it. This guy's going to go around this way. Oh, and for anyone curious, yeah, Xenonauts 2 is not out yet. In fact, it's still not quite in early access. I was hoping to show it off a little bit at some point. Apparently, it's still not technically in early access, so we can't quite do that yet. I think what they're trying to do is get it a bit more optimized because, to be honest, it kind of runs like absolute diarrhea. But to be fair, part of that is my computer, but it does take quite a while with its calculations at this point. It's got some really fun stuff, though, so looking forward to that. Eventually. Just not today. Let's see. Zero Rising. Gotcha. Oh, hang on. We got shots. Okay, they actually survived a hit on a shield. That is not very common because okay, so the shields have 80 health. Yeah, they took a 50. The shots do like 40 to 120, give or take. So that could have been a lot worse. Now, we've got a clear line on that guy. That's probably going to kill. What we want to do is get this guy over this way. Give us a little bit more scouting info here. Yeah, we've got one guy over there. I'm assuming there's no chance in hell he can flashbang that guy. Yeah, no, you're completely out of range. He's probably going to run inside. He may take a shot, but he's more than likely just going to run inside. So we need to get these shield guys through. Yeah, I'm thinking if there's, as long as I'm not missing anything for the schedule tomorrow, I want to do some Fell Seal tomorrow. By the way, it's a little bit annoying to shoot these things out of the way, but there we go. So you can go ahead and get moving. Now, as far as why HMGs are good, well, yeah. Anyway, that was a rare chance where actually none of the shots hit, but oh well. That's perfectly fine as well. In fact, there's a possibility that we may be able just to capture that guy. We'll see. Let's turn you this way. I'll have you move over here. Hello, there's Stukov, and yes, it absolutely is. I really like this game. Don't suppose you can somehow snipe that guy? No. Worth a shot. And yeah, if you're wondering why I'm not bum rushing with shotguns, it's not guaranteed. So almost nothing is going to be guaranteed as far as damage goes. Yeah, that guy's suppressed, so he probably won't be able to get a flank on this guy. That guy, yeah, they should be safe here. I hope they are, because losing somebody of a higher rank is generally a pretty bad time. I shouldn't be having this guy scouting by himself, but if there's two there, I'm assuming there's probably only one more inside. You're typically seeing about 3 to 5 that manage to survive a crash landing for a scout. Alright, let's see how that worked out. Oh, yeah, there we go. Shot straight through the shields. They had a full... They rolled, how much was that? 121 damage off that shield. They've got 41 health, by the way. So they rolled exactly enough to be able to kill them through their shield. That also means a 50% chance of survival. So there's that. So that's fun. Alright, you take on the position of watching the door. So the AI doesn't actually know if you have a weapon or not. The reason why this is relevant is because you can wind up with situations like this where you have one guy watching the door and they just won't even bother checking if it's something they can deal with. Alright, there's the other guy. That actually works out pretty nicely, because then you should be able to flashbang him. What is your chuck range? Let's see, it's about there. Right, next round, he's gonna... Actually, wait, he can do that this time, can't he? Almost. He's barely out of range, so I'm gonna have him run over here. As long as we can make sure that that guy doesn't run around, because he shouldn't be able to have the points to run all the way out there. He might run out and take a pot shot at this one, who will go ahead and have crouch down. Yes, we've already lost somebody in this exact position, but that was super unlikely. Again, the shields typically will give them... will I mean, sometimes they'll just take the shot, sometimes they'll be able to survive it well enough to be able to not bleed out before the end of the round, and they're just wounded. So, we'll see how that all goes. But, since they were one of the lower-ranking ones, we lost almost no morale from that, surprisingly. I guess because he was looking away. What about you? You were looking right at them. No, apparently nobody really liked them. Interesting. Okay. So next we go for Operation Drill a Hole through this this barrier right here. Let's see. Only thing guaranteed is something will go wrong whenever you least expect it. Oh yeah. Especially on this difficulty. Yeah, having everybody clumped together like this is basically going to be guaranteed death later in the game, but for now it's okay. And yeah, as far as shield direction goes, by the way, it's about 50% chance to block from the sides, 100% from the front. Alright. And yeah, we're going to have this guy go over here. There we go. We should be alright. So when they're suppressed, they only get one shot. Their accuracy isn't perfect. I mean, it still can be enough, don't get me wrong, but still. Alright, we didn't get him. Alright, how's that barrier going? I know this this little process here seems completely asinine, but it's about the safest that it can be. Alright, we're gonna move this guy out of the way. I need to get some scouting on this red guy. Additionally, that opens up line of fire on this one. I want to have this guy moved a little bit out of the way so he's not affected. So, when they fire, like especially when HMGs fire, it's kind of like a morale cone. So, like everything right here will get a massive morale drop, and everything, well, hit by it will hopefully be dead. Man, this guy got really lucky. That's 30 shots and nobody hit. And yeah, we're out of smokes for now. So that'll have to be that. Let's see, we got you, we got you. Yeah, that should be okay. Alright, that was just plain luck. That's okay, and that's just plain unfortunate, because now that means we have another guy that's in a better position somewhere. Alright, get this dang thing open already. Usually you're not sitting here right in the open doing this. So now it's open. We've got one more round. This guy... yeah. Yeah, that shield needs to go. But this is why we have them. And in case you're wondering, no, the shields are specifically made to not fit in the backpack. Alright. So we've got one guy in that building somewhere. Which is funny, because they just tore straight through that building, but, well. Alright, reload. So we don't have any support fire this round. This guy is presumably somewhere around here. Nope, still didn't get him. Alright, he should be safe, because this is hard cover from here. If this guy runs all the way around, takes a pistol snipe from here, then we have a problem. Alright, the bane of shields are windows and small boxes. Very true. And also just about every projectile in the game, unfortunately. Alright. So the reason I'm moving this guy over here, they've got a smoke. And I need that in their hand. Why are you not able to pick that up? That's really weird. Okay, I'm not sure why they couldn't just pop that in their hand, but whatever. But yeah, if you're ready a grenade in your hand, then you can use it faster. Alright, so that should mess with his accuracy. Unfortunately, he may still decide to just run up and hit this guy, because we have no way to suppress him right now. There's a small chance, like, we're one tile out of range. Actually, you know what we can do? There we go. The odds are terrible, but I'm not trying to hit him right now. What I was hoping for is that one of those shots would kind of go nearby him close enough to be able to suppress. So their suppression score is basically... They're constantly building up their morale. They can't panic, since they kind of explain in the story, like, they're basically genetically engineered, like, fearless mutants. So they can't panic at any point, like OG XCOM could. There we go. And that's why we like shotguns. But, despite the fact that they can't panic, you can still suppress them consistently. And it just takes longer and longer, because they have like a sort of suppression health bar. So like if you hit nearby any unit, it'll chip away at their morale. Their morale slowly builds back up, and they've got a little bit of immunity after a certain time. Let's see, is that gonna... Dang it, I just can't get that guy. We're just basically playing Minesweeper. Alright, well, let's... Yeah, he doesn't have the points. Let's go ahead and put you over here. Still can't get any sight on anybody. If you're wondering why I'm bum rushing in a couple guys right now, I need to block off this door. Because one guy is definitely going to be hiding inside. After a certain point, after they take a couple losses, they'll always start scooching back in the UFO. And for scouts and stuff like that, you can just kind of chuck a bunch of grenades in there, and that's it. So we'll just make use of that shotgun trick, and yeah. Alright. Go ahead and gas this up. Oh, by the way, anyone curious about Xenonauts 2? Oh, let's see. Good position if you die. Better do it on the body of a slain comrade. Depressing, but hey, it works. Maybe they just feel better about it. But yeah, Xenonauts 2. The smoke grenades work way, way better. So like in this one, you can stack your grenades up to like 2 or 3 times, depending on what version you're playing. In Xeno 2, they just, if you throw one, it automatically gives you a 0% chance to hit through it. You can still take pot shots through it, but no one can automatically target anything. Alright, so they're sitting on reactions right now. Alright, there's a red guy. So he isn't anything different. It's the same old guy. Alright, we need 37. Come on, give me that suppression. Alright, now we got a problem. Because, yeah, you don't have a shot. Although, on the plus side, this does mean that this guy is kind of safe to circle around. So if he decides to run around the corner, there's a good chance he'll just get blasted. You never want to take those rolls, to be fair. The reason I'm taking this angle right here is because he would have to be in that tile right there. Gives him a good chance to take a shot. Is there still a chance that it could backfire? Yes. So he's got partial cover, so he's got like half cover going in this direction. Gives him a chance to shoot back. Unfortunately, that's probably not the guy they're going for, because they know this guy's here. They know a lot of things about the map. So that's not great. So ideally what we want is to have this guy run out, crouch here, and just kind of keep eyes on him. See, dangerous part about putting him right here is the potential for burst fire. So he's already going to go to position, I think. So what we're going to do Yeah, I think we're just going to leave him right as he is. Now, can you aim right here? Yes. Okay. That's unfortunate. I was hoping that's got a wide enough area on its effect that it might have been able to suppress him. Unfortunately, no such luck. And I think our sergeant guy here is going to be taking over for door blocking duties. And negative 37, yeah, he'll be able to reach it. Yeah, figured. Let's see, do play this run without X Division as it looks like? Yeah. Yeah, this one's without X Div. So, insane runs tend to not be terribly long. So basically I just wanted to do a quick little run here. Alright. He can get one shot off on this guy. He's a red shirt, so they typically have lower health. Surprisingly, this isn't even bad as far as first mission body counts go on Insane. Kind of developed a weird accent there for one word. I think I've been hearing that terrible, like, Age of Empires knockoff commercial way too often. Our people weren't eating to play this game. It's, pretty blatant. Pretty blatant in terms of its infringement there, but oh well. Alright, this might be a terrible idea. But Mr. Bjorn Lund here is gonna run his butt up here. I don't know if anything's up here. That might have just been a random guy running around. It wouldn't make sense for the numbers for him to be there. Yeah, no, he's up there. Alright, looks like we got ourselves an extra. Alright, can you give me any kind of eyes on this guy? No. Alright, you got any shots on him? He's probably sitting right here, so if we aim for... That's not gonna work. Yeah, this thing counts as a lot of different elevations. Alright, that might be enough to suppress him. Now, we technically only have to keep this guy pinned. We don't really need to go take him out. So here's what we're going to do. You're going to put this down, you're going to put this down. Not going to do it this round. But we're going to have a bunch of flashbangs ready to go. And had this moment the other day that the wife and I were watching SWAT, and they had this moment where they're like pulling out a stun baton with one hand and a grenade with the other, waiting to ambush somebody. It's like this makes me want to go play some Insane or like just some X Division or something. My wife didn't understand why I was so excited about that. But yeah, sometimes I play without X-Div. It's just, yeah, the only issue with X-Div is just it takes so friggin' long, you know? I mean, you start a run of that one, and it's like, you're gonna be there forever. Right, so first order of business, with some doors, you can basically scout out what's behind the door by chucking a grenade underneath it. So this is one of those doors. I believe it's only some directions that you can do this from. Which, by the way, that mechanic still works in Xenonauts 2, so I'm assuming it's intentional. Anyway, there we go. We reaction check the door. These guys might just die from this, but there we go. So yeah, what we want to do is chuck a bunch of stuns in there. We won't really know what kind of damage they're doing, though. But thankfully we've got safe tiles. And then we'll just reset up next round. So stun damage is permanent. They won't be able to recover it. And we'll be better set up next round. See if we aim up here again. Oh, hang on one quick moment here. Let's see, X Division is a long war in more ways than one. Oh yeah. No, it just takes so dang long. I love it to pieces, but hot dang, it takes forever. Anyway, one quick sec here. Okay, and back. And somehow I managed to avoid getting vaporized. So this guy's already taken his shots, so we can make our way up here. Yeah, it's going to be right here. It's going to be a real pain to assault. Yeah, we need him in cover. Basically what I'm doing here, I want to make sure that if he decides to go for the attack, there's a much longer range for him to go, because he's still a couple turns out from being able to successfully do anything here. Alright, so these guys are going to set up on the door again. Now, they're protected by the UFO here, so they shouldn't be taking any attacks. I'm going to put you right here. Also, one of the reasons you want to run builds like this, ideally, due to the way the morale works, especially if you're running, like, if you're doing insane, you can kind of expect that by the end game, you're not even fighting everything. The idea is just you find the UFO door, you get to the UFO, and you bum rush that crap and try to kill everything inside before anything from the outside actually reaches you. So yeah, there's some complications that can come from that, but one of the things that you can expect is that people will panic, people will break all the time. So typically you're just going for like high bravery units and things like that. Oh hell, he did it. Man, that was such a long move. This is what I mean, like the AI knows. The AI friggin' knows. I mean, there's still a chance we can get him because he's still sitting right here. But yeah, no, that's just going to bounce off the UFO door. That sucks. We don't have to fight him, though. Alright, back to this. So I feel comfortable enough going at it this way. There we go, we got one. That's all we need. So this one's going to move out of the way. You can't move out of the way. Can you shotgun him? Right, so he's injured. He's got pretty low everything. This should be the kill. Okay. So now all we need is to pile everybody in this UFO and wait it out for 5 turns. So we've already got our guy in here. We'll scout out for this this one guy that's running around. But realistically, it's safer to not bother. Oh, there he is. Wait, did I actually put himself in a position where I can hit him? Not quite. But it did give us a little bit more scouting, so... I don't think there's any moves that he can do to block this, so... I can have him run here. He should hopefully not have any means of taking a shot. Let's crouch him just in case. The cover system in this game is a little weird, by the way. It's like, it's not exactly 3D, it's just pretending to be 3D. Alright, that should be good. This guy's just going to block the door. In fact, there's no shots he can take from there, so we'll go ahead and do this. Like, any of these tiles are technically not safe, because if you sit there, they can come down, just turn around, take a headshot at you. They will absolutely take kind of impossible snipes. Alright, don't get shot. Alright, that's not great. That took more points than I thought it would. Right. Like that. How do you even get that angle, sir? Alright, so we know he's right there. I suppose you can reach that somehow, can you? Alright, so it's 24 for him to chuck. So we'll go right there. He might be able to actually get this through the window. Nice, okay. It's no guarantee that it worked, but at least we have a way to hold him down for now. And the reason I left one guy in the UFO is if this one guy manages to solo the whole rest of the team, well, you know, we have a guy there. Alright, beautiful. Can you give me some eyes on him? Alright, can't quite see him yet. Yeah, we know he's suppressed. So, fun little thing on the mechanics of this game. If you didn't know, you can aim at walls to hit stuff on the other side. So there we go. And it looks like, yeah, we got 2 of our dudes back. So it's only... Let's see, yeah, so the shotgun guy got revived. One of the rookies that got shot earlier survived. Which one was... Oh, the sniper. Yeah, the sniper got sniped. So... You know. Alright, anyway. That is, I mean, only 1 loss for a first mission. Not terrible. So, so yeah, we start off with a capture. Reason this is important. So, your actual death counter for an insane run, while it says that it's for how long it takes for your actual stuff to run out, not exactly. We'll get to that in a moment, but that's not your actual death counter. You see, your actual death counter is when you run out of stuff to research, because you need a few things to be able to keep progressing. In order to keep winning the air game, you need to constantly be able to get to the next explosives tech. So this involves going for alien alloys next. So typically the way I like to go, Invasion finishes up. You do Foxtrot. So you get your Foxtrot, you build your first Foxtrot, you get alloys going at that point. So you get your plane, you get your missiles for it, you get your better grenades, you get your stun stuff immediately after that. Stun mitigates a lot of things in the early game, because you can basically create a cloud where the AI will repeatedly run into and pass out. Gives you more captures, gives you more money. You don't have to manufacture whatever else stuff. The only way you get money in this game is by doing ground missions and getting more artifacts from them and selling them. So this means the more you use stun, the more money you actually have, because your budget is like about that of a Taco Bell. So in order to be able to keep building those pain chalupas, you got to be able to, keep moving on here. Now, thankfully, for all of your jets and things like that, your missiles and guns and everything are infinite. Your ballistic stuff is infinite, but all your upgrades from here do cost money to make. The exception being grenades. So that's why we're basically bum rushing grenades, because we're constantly losing people. We're maybe going to be able to afford to build a couple laser shotguns before the end of the game. So, yeah, the budget is very, very tight. On both alloys and... you can't manufacture alloys, unlike XCOM. So, yeah. You kind of have to recover all your stuff. Your funding nations can't be cheesed. You can't develop a manufacturing program. Alright, I get it. They're all over here. I know. We're trying to build one there. Although, this is perfect, by the way, as far as early game setup. It doesn't really get much better than this, that you actually get your early mission, and then you also get the second one. You don't need a second mission right away, but as long as you have your first set of researches, you can actually do some stuff. I always love the art in this game. It just looks so good. Love the art style. Seems like they're mostly keeping that for the second one, making a few little changes here and there, but it's a nice aesthetic. So it gives this thing of being proper sci-fi, but also not being completely doom and gloom, while also being extremely doom and gloom, you know? Does that make sense? Probably doesn't. Whatever. Anywho. Alright, have we got our other scientists yet? Please tell me I remember. Okay, so yeah, the scientists are going to be here eventually. I don't know what's taking them so long. There we go. Got our scientists. We can speed up this Foxtrot. Should be just about done within a couple of days here. So then we get that one, we build that, and then we drastically expand our actual effective range. Come on. Is it excellent yet? Yes. Excellence is like 80% done. We do probably want to hire a couple people, though. Before I forget. So you start off with a couple extras. Because the way that we're doing this strategy, typically TUs and Bravery are the main ones you want to go for. Because I try to get RNG out of the equation as much as possible, because you cannot trust the RNG in this game at all. Like, you thought XCOM was bad? Yeah. Wait till you see a 92% that they fumbled a grenade and blow up their entire team. That's happened once. I've had 3 90-something% in a row fail in catastrophic ways and completely eliminate an A team. Which, by the way, you do eventually get a B team. I mean, you're probably like Z35 or whatever by the end of the game with how many rookies die, but still. Okay, so we're getting in their living quarters. We can hire more disposable rookies. The reason that we want to hire so many units, it's not ideal before our first paycheck, but still. Generally speaking, it's better to have more disposable units on hand. Come on, finish up with that Foxtrot. I specifically just have to remain above 200k here. Come on. Maybe hire a couple more. Yeah, I feel like hiring a couple more. Do we really want this guy? I mean, this guy's got really good reflexes, maybe. Alright. This will all make sense later. Come on, give me my foxtrot already. Alright, that one's flying away. The way that the AI tends to interact with your base once they know where it is something like this, where they'll kind of like zigzag back and forth. So you normally want to send out one and then immediately send out another because they try to run your planes out of gas. Yes, the AI knows how your gas works. Yeah, tail it until it's overland. We want the second one to probably engage that. Realistically, actually, yeah, that's still perfectly fine. Actually, that's almost amazing how fine that is. So, same as before. Just keep mashing that spin key. That's great. I mean, you can't really consistently dodge those anyway, but still, it's just nice. Alright. So we've only got 2 extra guys right now. Let's switch over to Assault. Switch you over to Assault as well. These are the same guys from the first mission. And this guy's expression more or less properly exemplifies what we're expecting their average lifespan to be. So go ahead and put him on the Charlie. You also go on the Charlie. For a scout, we should be safe with 7 people. I want to wait until daytime anyway, so we might end up getting somebody else arriving. I mean, sometimes you don't even have a choice on taking a night mission. They stick around for 24 hours. But yeah, no. They will absolutely just... they're just going to ruin your day if you ever try to take a night mission in this one. Like, pretty much everything about Xenonauts can be summed up as, hey, you thought XCOM was bad, well, there you go. Alright, so we're gonna have to go in with 7. Our other ones are not arriving on time, and we're about out of time on that mission, so might as well. And we'll give this guy 1 medkit. He can actually afford to carry it. Mr. Swindlehurst, swindling everybody else out of their carry capacity, apparently. Now, I mentioned earlier that there was a gimmick that you could use these fire grenades for. It's for lizards. It's for civilians. So basically, you can mess with their vision. They're smoke grenades with far less effective range that work on lizards. So I mean, I'll grab a couple of them. Why not? It's not like they make that much of a difference. I will say I'm gonna take one frag though, because those are the best for getting stuff out of your way. Now, after the first month, this whole setup is entirely inviable, so we're not even gonna bother. All right, now here's hoping it's lizards. Actually, wait, we can go check the screen here for how quickly they'll get here. Okay, 3 hours. Can we wait 3 hours? 1, 2, 3. Please, 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 please. That's 3 hours. Okay. Good. We got our 1 guy. As long as you launch before it disappears, you're fine. Alright, so we got the guy that looks kind of like David Bowie over here. Hopefully they're going to be the one that turns the tide of the war, which is super unlikely, but worth a shot. But yeah, so first month you can get away with this crap. After that, God no. And unfortunately, we rolled a 2nd industrial mission in a row. The farms are the best, because the AI sucks at dealing with farms, especially in the early game. So the Foxtrot is basically a modified Foxhound. In other words, it can't dodge worth a crap, and has big missiles. Unlike the actual normal variant, though, it has no guns, so it's entirely just a missile boat. Alright, so next order of business, do the alloys. I should probably explain something else here real quick. So the reason that we're going for captures on Cesians and civilians early on, they're 2 of the main ones that you run into other stuff later. But if you do analysis, it gives you a 10% damage bonus. It doesn't seem like much, but it scales up really well. So it pretty noticeably lets you more consistently get kill shots off. Did I seriously forget to assign this guy? Well, brilliant. Off to just a rollicking good start. Now, you might also be thinking, like, hey, so previously you mentioned the possibility of, manufacturing different things. Surely you can build armor and survive a little better and build up an A-team. That's a nice thought. This isn't X Division. X Division has a ton of, interesting class-based armors and stuff like that, and they give you different kind of different characteristics. And you got like your soldier armor that makes you shoot faster, but your reloads take longer, or you got your heavy like tank armors and stuff like that. Those technically exist in this game. However, it's more like original XCOM, where you've got your basic jackal armor that may maybe reduce damage by like 20 and let them survive a single hit. You've got your wolf armor that'll generally let them, take like a rifle round, maybe. And then you've got your power armor, which has like a 50% chance of letting them not die to a single burst. So there's that. Oh, friggin' hell, it's this map. The container maps are absolutely awful in the early game. The RNG is pissed, and it's showing. Okay, so we're going to do the shield strategy. So, one other thing you can do when there's no good cover for your gunners and snipers, we're not running with a sniper this time, so gunner's going to have to do, is you take your shield guys, and you make a little wall for them. This works a little better than you'd think. Yeah, these guys are functionally a rolling barricade. Now, last time we rolled out everywhere with smoke. This time, there's so much open space that I'm not even sure we can afford to do that. If we can... Oh, perfect. Perfect. Okay. So, the way that this game's balanced, usually these randos running around are going to take the first shots. Oh, and we got a super cop. Okay, we're safe. We're perfectly safe. Super cops always just handle everything. So, funny thing, the AI does not really understand how ammo works, so in a lot of cases, when you have the cop units running around, they will just completely blast away stuff that they really shouldn't be able to. So sometimes you'll see cases where they'll just be sitting outside of a UFO and there's just this one rent-a-cop with a pistol, and they're just a pile of bodies in front of them. It's pretty great. Okay. Like, I kid you not, I saw this guy... So, Reapers are the equivalent of chrysalids in this game. Didn't work. And yeah, legit, this guy took out like 4 of them one time. It was awesome. Okay, so this guy's a red shirt. That's why I'm sending 2 guys out to get him. There's a very good chance that they can just overpower him very easily. Alright, let's have you scout out this way. So what we want to do is just make a field of vision as much as possible. The gunner can only cover this area. So seeing as nobody ran out of the doors, we can kind of safely assume that there isn't going to be too much here. There's probably going to be a couple of units out this direction. Yeah, let's do something like this. Alright, and this guy's almost got no chance of reaction fire, so we'll throw another smoke out here. And then... oh yeah, I forgot we had this guy. Well, if that's the case... let's see, 23... Well, you, sir, have no hope of actually reaching that. So there we go. We'll pop you over here. We'll let you take a sit. And these guys should, for the most part, have enough cover in the way that they shouldn't be too threatened. My hope is this guy will run out, probably take a pot shot, maybe hit a shield or nothing. Rent-a-cop will run up and start blasting at him. Or he'll just run away. That works too. That is an ideal outcome. Yeah, enemy units running away are always going to be the best possible outcome. Alright, so we know that's safe. Usually you don't want to take very ambitious moves because you don't have very forgiving turn units. Okay, so this guy can safely run up here. We don't really want to start our turn moving the gunner, but that's fine. We'll set shield guy up over here to protect his flank. I'll do like this, I think. And yeah, we'll do like a rolling smoke kind of situation here. This guy seems to have wasted all his TUs running backwards. Please tell me you can land this. Just out of range. Right, so pistol guys... so the red guys are also guaranteed to spawn with pistols. Generally speaking, this means that their accuracy is going to be terrible, their damage is going to be iffy, and usually they'll try to run up and take a shot. So if we do something like this, there's a very good chance he's going to run up, probably land around here, but try to take a shot at this guy. Alright, smoke is a no. Yeah, we're not really going to have anything to back that up, but these guys should all be safe. Okay, he's going to take the container. Not terrible. Because we also know where he's going to be then. Beautiful. Okay, so that's the edge of the map. So this guy's literally just right there. There's not even a place for him to flank anywhere. So he's guaranteed stunned at this point. Oh, another thing on Xenonauts 2, by the way. Stuns are absolutely guaranteed on stun grenades. So you can't actually do stun damage with them anymore, but they are a guaranteed stun. Or suppression, rather. At least as far as I've seen. I think they are just like a hard 100% chance to suppress, which is good. Might be saying, why that seems like, 100% anything in this game seems like it might break the balance of everything being made of suffering and just, being an absolute bullet enema at all times. But that's the thing. It kind of tends to lend itself to a bit of a better experience overall. Because so many times in this game, like, in the early game, it's fine. But later on, when you're running into those situations where they're like, they're literally... I don't even probably explain this. Like, you'll throw 5 flashbangs at a guy, and they're just like, what do you want me to do with this, Because it technically didn't get past their armor threshold, because there's particular math going on in the background. It's just not a pleasant time. Now, is there... Yeah, you can't get back there. Best chance she's got is to take a shot and hopefully scare this guy off. So with any luck, he won't decide to attack. He might just see, hey, I got damaged, and run away. He might decide to attack, and at that range, he's got a burst fire, so she's guaranteed dead. So we'll see how this goes, and dead. Yep. Alright, not ideal. So we're going to shoot our own dead guy. And hope that this managed to suppress them. So those two are in a little bit of trouble right now. Now what this guy's going to do is pull a shotgun out of his pocket, blow that one away, and we'll see if he switches back to shield or not in a moment, because hopefully he won't have to. So you're 25 to Chuck. Now, why this attack is important, so when it comes to this AI guide at the very bottom, they've got like a certain break point when you start fighting them. So if you've gotten to the point where you're clearly winning the ground fight, they will absolutely prioritize getting back to the UFO to make sure that you can't reclaim it. And yeah, I think at this point, this guy's probably safe to just run shotgun. Because we did get the suppress, we got all the other stuff. We should be alright. Alright, you stack up over here. So my hope is that this guy will panic and start running this way. At which point we can just circle around, hit him with a stun grenade, hit him with the LMG, and maybe be alright that way. Thing is, I don't know if he's suppressed. Let's see, we've got no cover from here, but we've got soft cover from this thing. I hope he's fine, otherwise this guy can circle around and flank him just fine, but over here, he'd be kind of... Well, actually, that probably would be the safer bet. I mean, that's still a maybe if he decides to run over this way. Okay. Oh, for crap's sake. Yeah, there was another one. Because of course there was. So that's a problem, but we're getting to the UFO now. Alright, screw it. I just have to hope that kills him. It probably won't, because they can usually take a grenade or two. And unlike XDiv, there is absolutely no reason to take more than one capture, so if we can, we will, but for the most part, this is just a suppression method now. And in fact, I feel safe enough to run this guy out here, because I feel like going aggressive is going to be the play. Because we need to convince the AI to run at this point. Yeah, no, he didn't die. Although this guy didn't wind up with a bleeding injury, surprisingly. He is suppressed, so he can only do one move, and that is sit there and die. Okay. So much for that. You might be thinking pull out the shotgun, but he's not going to have enough points for that. Okay, we know they've still got a guy out here, so we got to keep an eye out for that. Like I said, this is why we this is why we weren't expecting very many people to make it. Because on Insane, there is no forgiveness for anything. Dudes just croak. And funnily enough, by the way, it might be tempting to think that pistols become a little worthless past this point. Surprisingly, not so much. Like laser pistols in particular wind up pretty good later. Yeah, I don't even blame the guy for panicking. His shield just exploded in his hands. So yeah, fun thing. They can't path outside of the door. So what we can do, and I've only seen a couple times when this wasn't the case, we can just pop people outside the door, and yeah, we own the UFO now. So then we can deal with the ones that are out here. We're going to start losing morale to this guy dying. There's absolutely nothing he can do, nothing we can really do to save him. I'm thinking move these two guys down that way, see if they can deal with the problem a little bit. First priority should be clearing the UFO and getting somebody inside there, though. Please don't get sniped. Oh, wow. Okay, exceptions happen. Actually, right, that was the exception. Now I know what's going on. Okay, so the exception is if an AI unit can see the door from outside, that's when they can open it. Because when they're inside, because they're technically unable to see it, all they do is look at it and say, that's odd. I can't open the door. There we go. UFO's taken. Alright, that guy's guy's gonna be bait. That guy's survived surprisingly well, and that's everybody. Oh, give me just a moment. Alright, the kiddos will be up soon and oh my god, what the hell? I mean, these spam bots were annoying before, but what the hell? That's a first. Alright, ban that crap. Alright, ban this one too. Yeah, God only knows, man. Is there seriously yet another one? Sorry, the interface for actually blocking people is pretty annoying. Gotta go to like two different things to be able to actually go block somebody. And for some reason, there's no back out of it button. Alright, is that all of them? Seriously, another one? What was that, like 6 of them now? Sorry, give me just a sec. Frickin' spam bots, I swear. There is nobody here. Like, this is about as niche as it gets. Nobody's gonna be paying for followers for this crap. Come on. That's what the invasion was for this whole time. Oh, crap. Okay, this guy's about to be in real trouble here. Oh, hell. Okay, we're... Uh-oh. We're in a bit of a spot of bother, one might say. Yeah, it's hard to pick exactly what to do here, because they have to spend a lot of points to open the door, so typically you just want to be sitting behind it. But the problem is, you usually want them to be able to move a couple tiles. Yeah, we're about to lose a couple units. Oh, wow. I mean, that was going to happen. He's guaranteed dead, too, because he took a high damage hit. Okay, that guy's bleeding out. That guy's just guarding the door. We are now 2 turns into this thing. We need to delay. We just need to buy time. So the hope is maybe they'll round this corner and get shot. Nice. Okay, that probably won't work a second time, so we gotta move him. The mission should end right before he bleeds out, though. I feel like he's probably around there. Okay, good. Good, good, good. So this guy got promoted to replace the sergeant that we lost. That's good. Now we got some alloys out of that. Made 28 grand. I mean, it's an overall loss, but got some alloys. Realistically, we probably should have just delegated that one. So after a certain point, you really just want to be taking only new UFOs. So I think we're getting about that point with the scouts, that unless there's going to be a Cesian on there, that's really what I was hoping for. Um, Unless there's a new type of alien or new type of research, you just want to leave it to the locals. There we go. We're going to spend more than we just ended up losing on that mission to hire people. Oh, hey, look. 2 more spam bots. Or, actually, wait, that's just one that's sending out... whatever. He's gone. There we go. I'm sorry those guys are a pain. Alright, do we have them building the Foxtrot? Yes, it's just taking them a while. So it's going to take a week for the Foxtrot to get here. You might be asking why I'm not buying more engineers, which we won't be able to afford the upkeep for engineers. It would be nice to be able to mass produce a bunch of planes, but basically 1 a week is the best that we're going to be able to do. We're a little over a week into our first month here, and we've already lost, like, what was it, 7 people? And we've lost 6 people, and we've had I think we've spent like $1 million or so. So yeah, gonna do the best we can. The absolute ideal is to have 2 Foxtrots by the end of the first month. Because normally what you want to do is you want to have okay, good. Is what you want to do is with your first 2 bases, you want to have a Condor and 2 Foxtrots at each one. So the Condor gets sent out first. It's not expected to actually catch anything, but they do their whole back and forth thing. They track them for a little bit, and then on one of their return trips, you send out a Foxtrot or 2, depending on its size. And then this basically just allows you to move them around where you want them to be. The Foxtrot, you might be saying, a lot of stuff can dodge. There's a trick to avoid their dodge entirely, and it's called ramming them with torpedoes. Surprisingly, this works, but we'll get there when we get there. Alright. Send out 1 Condor. We want that, actually. Hopefully this doesn't backfire. Yeah, just auto-resolve it. Fighters, never worth doing anything but auto-resolve on that, and yeah. So the reason, by the way, that I never auto-resolve stuff like the scouts and whatever else, you normally want to manually do them simply because the AI will sometimes manage to get itself injured on a fight where they should have absolutely no reason to get injured. So you want to keep your planes at 100% at almost all times, at least the Condors. Alright, I guess we'll roll for lizards again. See what we get. Now, by default, I have them listed by bravery. Again, this is why we're not even trying for things like having somebody with a good aim or whatever else. It's just entirely people that don't panic. Or at least have a good chance not to panic. Alright, so we've got 1 full squad. You go with that. We're gonna need at least 1 gunner, though. Who's got the best aim of these guys? Yeah, you've got good strength and aim. Alright, so you're gonna be our heavy. Let's go ahead and double check everyone's loadout. I don't like having this guy go in injured, but truth be told, after a certain point, like, it just stops mattering what their actual health is. As long as they're able to pull a trigger, you're fine. Alright, get more stuns. Or actually, no, get one of these. Alright, and back to it. So, the one and only reason that we're going for this one, instead of just accepting the 15k, probably should have explained that a little bit sooner. But yeah, the way that it works, you kind of have a bit of a bet that you take on missions. That if you succeed, you'll get typically about twice as much as you'd get from just accepting it as it is. If you fail, obviously you take a whole lot more, but if you just leave it to the locals or airstrike it, well, then you typically get a lower amount, and for most of the game that will be fine. I mean, we're going to be running shoestring budget, but I can't believe we rolled industrial again. Alright. So we got corner. We got same side, though, so we got double corners here. Thinking we probably don't even bother with most of the map. We just rush in. Yeah, they've got a wall right there. So we just rush in and hold the UFO. A little bit of scouting in. Oh yeah, perfect. We got a wall right there. We can just plop our gun right here. I'll leave one gunner and one shield guy here. Everyone else takes the UFO. Alright, how many survive round one? Everyone so far. It's okay. We need to have somebody on that door before we actually get to the main door over here. Because what they like to do is... Really? Typically what they like to do is hide a bunch of dudes right here as an ambush. Or sometimes just hide somebody right in front of that door. Yeah, there's one. So there's the one they're hiding. They like to ambush you through the windows and stuff like that. That's good, actually. Yeah, but I had one case in XDiv where it was just like this. We cleared out the whole rest of the map, just get to this area right here, and the entire thing ends up failing because of just this spot right here. Alright, you're going to give us a scout of what's going on this way. Nothing, apparently. What the actual hell? Okay, that'll do. Alright, so we block the door with this guy. Try to get sight on him from here. He shouldn't be able to path out. Alright, what gives? Because the edge of the map's right there. There's very little that's going to be over there. This area probably will be clear too. Yeah, so... Huh. Alright. Perfect. Alright, so next round we can just keep flashbanging the guy. Or just shotgun him. Yeah, I think just shotgun. Kind of amazing, actually. Oh, come on now. You're serious? I should have just shot the wall, to be fair. Alright. That sucks. That sucks, but... that's the way it goes sometimes, right? Really? He survived that? Alright, block the door. And one quick moment, let me see where the music stopped. Perfect. And we're still down a guy. Alright, give me some idea of what we're working with over here. Yeah, I thought so. Unfortunate, but acceptable. Oh, crap. Yeah, that just sucks. I mean, admittedly, I shouldn't have had them go out on their own, but kind of figured, you know, surely they wouldn't be right there, but that's the way the cookie crumbles. That sucks. That also sucks. Yeah, I gotta get out of the X-Div mentality of the UFO is the main danger. Because they would go frickin' clown car on you. Okay, and we found one right there. Okay. Dude, this guy is solid like a dang rock. He just does not want to budge. Alright, so that's going to be the last one of the missions for today. Basically, as far as setups for this go, it's kind of an interesting mixed bag how this one went. Because that's 4 successful ones, sure, but generally speaking, you only want to take the first 2 and hopefully get a Cesian and Civilian one after another. Because after that point, I mean, civilian captures will become a thing later. It's just they're easier to actually capture once, well, once you actually have something to capture with. So I guess we'll start building out this one instead now. Yeah, we don't even have enough to do that. Don't have enough for a lab. We don't have enough for a lot of things. I guess this one will need a storeroom. That'll have to be that for now. Actually, they'll need a hangar more than anything. Is that one, like, this base is almost built up. This one's gonna need a couple hangars. They're pretty cheap to build. But yeah, we can build one hangar in there. Actually, don't know if we can even... Please tell me we at least finished our first one. Yeah. Have anything we can sell whatsoever? Shoot. Well, that sucks. Because that means we'd basically have to take another mission to be able to afford to build our plane. Because we're probably at like 99% done or something. Alright, fighters happen. Alright, alloys happened. Let's see. And I think we need just one of their weapons, and then that should be enough. I'm not doing interrogation yet because it actually gives us 2 separate mission types. Or it caused a new type of units to spawn, and we don't want those until we can get stuns. Right, so we let those go away a little bit. Hopefully we can airstrike these. Oh, it's a normal scout. Alright. So he's out of there. It's at critical. We have to send the other one after it. Oh, for crap's sake. Yeah, that's a problem. So they can occasionally roll high on the missiles. Let's see if this one's a normal scout. But that one really industrial 5 times in a row. Are you serious, game? Alright, do we have enough? Do we even have a team to send at it? Yeah, we do. Alright, well, anyway, we'll do that next time. Yeah, it's been a mixed bag because overall, this is definitely more fights than you'd be taking earlier on, so there's a few more alloys, I guess. So we're maybe setting up better for the mid-game, but yeah, this has been kind of a dumpster fire so far. I can't say it's been going well at all, but hey, you know? It goes how it goes sometimes. Especially the fact that we haven't gotten, we actually have not gotten that, the lizard as of yet. Which, given luck so far, it's probably going to be this one. Anyway, so I'm going to wrap it up there for now, and, yeah, next time we'll continue on from here. Have yourself a good one, and, yeah, take care.